Welcome back, everyone, to another adventure in Theater of the Mind. Yesterday, I asked the question, what you're going to do. Then, I tried to give you my explanation as to what I did when I needed to lose 100 pounds because I was overweight. So, today, this will be quick and to the point, and I hope you guys can get something from it. So, the title of this, I called it Breaking Through the Bottleneck, Assessing Your Subconscious Power. Okay, so first of all, what is a bottleneck? It's a term we use in IT quite frequently. So, think of this. Most of us, we live through a narrow lens of the conscious mind. We process about 50 bits per second. Hey, that's like streaming a movie through a dial-up service, like a modem from back in the day. And the subconscious mind is this superhighway, right? Meanwhile, your subconscious processes about 11 million bits per second. It runs your emotions, your habits, your identity, and it's on autopilot, which is not always a good thing. So, why do we get stuck, right? Well, you're not lazy. Your critical factor, like I talked about yesterday, it's protecting you from no. It's protecting the knowns from anything new. Right now, I'm going to explain that. What do I mean by that? Change feels like danger to the gatekeeper. Right. So, no matter what it is, it's a signal. Hey, this is not normal. Be aware. So, how do you bypass this bottleneck? That's what this presentation is all about. How do you bypass it? Well, here's the first thing. You you don't you don't fight it. You don't fight the critical factor. Right? You go around it. You use stories. You use emotion. You use visualization. You use repetition. Right? These slip under the radar and it rewires the system. So you already have the power. You, what you don't know is what you don't need is willpower, and which most people think we need. You need better access to the subconscious. So the bottleneck isn't your block, it is going to be your bridge. Right? So you activate this change daily, every day. This is things you have to do. So imagine your future self. Feel it. Rehearse it. The brain rewires the real and imagine the same way. So if you make it up and say that you're miserable, you know what? That's what you get because it creates the emotions that make you stay feeling miserable. Okay, enough of that. Let's keep going because I want this to be fairly quick. So now, most of us think that willpower and motivation creates change, but hey, look. But that's only 5% of the story. The real story lies below the surface. So, this is an image of the conscious and the subconscious and the primitive mind, right? So, the things I want to point out is that the mind isn't just one thing. You've got three minds running the show, and only one of them is going to listen to logic. And that's going to be your conscious mind, which only controls about 5% of who you are. This is about 5%. And it has to do with the senses when you are seeing, hearing, tasting, feeling. That is what the conscious mind does. And it relies on the subconscious mind to present it with the past, what it knows. And this is where the reason and the logic comes in and tries to make sense of whether you should go left or go right, go up, go down, or whatever you do. This is what's happening. But if everything in your subconscious mind is a belief that says you can't do it, you're not good enough, this is dangerous, how else can you reason anything else except I can't do that? I'm just being honest with you guys. This is something that I've learned over the years, and I'm an old dude, and I'm trying to tell you that this, no matter how many times you tell yourself that you're positive, that you believe in yourself, those are just words. Those are words. So, by the time you are 9 years old, by the time you're 9 years old, it's all over. The critical factor is now, and let me just explain, and I'm going to move on because I don't want this to be very long. I want this to be a really short video. So, listen, by the time you're 9 years old, everything that you've been told, everything that you've done in the past is going to be accepted as a known. Like, you know it. You might not like it, but you know it to be true. And it's unfiltered. It is not being checked. And there's things that you like, and there's things that you don't like, but they're known. So, but after you become 9 years old, you know what happens? The critical factor locks those things in. And anything that's new that's coming in is going to get scrutinized. It's going to get filtered. Logic can't do it. See, so this is why people just don't change. So the subconscious deals with fears, habits, beliefs, body systems are your emotions. Right? These are the things, and this is real, guys. When I say it's real, there are hormones, and I'm going to talk about not today because I want this to be quick. But there's real hormones that's being created when you think of something that is fearful, anxiety, written the thoughts that you create. Your body produces those chemicals that you need in order to get you to change your idea about what you want to do. I'm just saying. It's true. So in order to bypass that, you have to use this is what I've discovered. Hypnosis, repetition, emotion, visualization, repetition. These are some things that you do. Now I'm gonna tell you, is it easy? Oh hell no. I mean, look, guys, I've read the books, I've watched the videos, I did all this stuff, and you know what? Even if I said, Greg, you're great 1,000 times a day, you know, at the end of the day, I said, Greg, you're great. No, you're not. You remember when you did this? You remember when they did that? And then the emotions and the chemicals kick in, and pretty soon you're saying, yeah, you're right. So when I was showing you guys that thing I did yesterday, and I'm going to do that again about creating a villain and creating, you know, a mindset that you need to deal with the villain. Hey, look, that is key. Okay, now, here, in our instance, by age 9, most of our beliefs are locked in. Anything that's new after that, the mind rejects it unless you know how to get past the gatekeeper. And the gatekeeper is the critical factor. All right. Now, here is the key. Hide. Change isn't hard because you're lazy. It's hard because your inner protector, I'm calling hide, thinks change is danger. right? So you have defeatism. I'll never be good enough. Delayism. I'll start next week. Cynicism. This stuff never works. Negativism. Why bother? Escapism. I'll just, I'll just stroll for a bit. Hey, you know what? You're trying to get to comfort. These, hey, aren't just things. Your body creates these chemicals that you can then label that feeling as, oh, cynic, oh, negative, oh, defeatism. Because you know what it feels like. It's real. So, I ain't lying. So, now, here, this is, if the conscious mind is a single lane road, which it is, your subconscious mind is a 50 lane superhighway. Okay? It runs everything automatically habits, emotions, identity. This is your conscious, a single lane highway. This is the subconscious. This is the critical factor that prevents you from having access to all those lanes. I'm just saying. Just think if you had access to even a tenth of these, you could cure cancer. There is no, your body is what heals you. The subconscious is controls everything. So if you could consciously direct the subconscious to heal parts of your body, it's a done deal. Easy, easy, easy. So anyway, now this is how we do it. We don't fight the gatekeeper, which is the critical factor. We just go around it. We use stories. We use visuals. We use emotions. They speak the language your subconscious already understands, right? This is fantastic, guys. I'm just telling you. Hey, look, someone who's in my, been in my physical state, hey, man, I am so happy because the things that I'm able to share with you are things that I would never hear. I didn't. I was just saying. I listened to everybody. I mean, and they told me a lot of the same things, but they never told me how. How, why, and how do I fix it? So look, I am not about spreading this and telling you. I'm sharing with you the things that are the issues. Tomorrow, I'm going to show you how to expect it, how you can easily do it. Here's what I learned, and I'm done. Here's what I learned, guys. If it's easy to do, if it's fun, and you like it, you're going to do it. If it's not easy and you like it, you know what? You might not do that because I'm just saying. So everything that I talk about is things that's fun, easy to do, and you're gonna like it because you get results quickly. I know I am. So now you already have the power. What do you do next? Right? I showed you the conscious and the subconscious. Well, what do you do? Like I said, what you gotta do? That's the question. So I'll ask you again, what you gonna do? Well, hopefully you continue to listen to what I'm telling you. And if I only can affect one person, here's what I know, and I'm done for the day. That 80% of you who look at me and see this and you think, 80%. I know that. I know. Remember Hyde? skepticism, delays, and negativism, cynicism. It's in you. You can't help it. It's new. It's different. You're going to find ways to fight it. It goes against what you know. Well, there's 20% of you who I want to reach because, it makes all the difference in my life that I can affect just a small percentage because I know what you do is share this with someone else and it grows. And then they'll share it and it grows. All right, this is enough for today. Tomorrow, I'll be back with another episode.